Jump to content. Main menu. Main menu. Move to sidebar hide. Navigation. Main page. Contents. Current events. Random article. About Wikipedia. Contact us. Contribute. Help. Learn to edit. Community portal. Recent changes. Upload file. Search. Search. Appearance. Donate. Create account. Login. Personal tools. Donate. Create account. Login. Pages for logged out editors. Learn more. Contributions. Talk. Contents. Move to sidebar hide. Top. 1. Etymology of the name. 2. Appearance. 3. Early mythology. Toggle early mythology subsection. 3.1 Father of Horus. 3.2 Ram God. 4. Mythology. 5. Worship. Toggle worship subsection. 5.1 Death or transition and institution as God of the afterlife. 5.2 Icarnofrat Stela. 5.3 Wheat and clay rituals. 6. Judgment. 7. Greco-Roman era. Toggle Greco-Roman era subsection. 7.1 Hellenization. 7.2 Destruction of cult. 8. See also. 9 Notes. 10 References. 11 External links. Toggle the table of contents. Osiris. 88 languages. Afrikaans. Alemanis. Asturianu. Azerbaijkanka. Bosanski. Brezoneg. Katala. Etna. Simreg. Dansk. Deutsch. Easti. Epsilon lambda lambda eta nu iota kappa. Español. Esperanto. Euskera. Francais. Kylch. Galigo. Hrvatski. Edo. Bahasa Indonesia. Islandska. Italiano. Kiswahili. Latina. Latviu. Lietovi. Magyar. Malagasy. Bahasa Melayu. /Ming DNGNG. Nhwadal. Netherlands. Norsk Boekmal. Occitan. Osbicha / Polski. Portuguese. Rom. Scots. Schkib. Sicilianu. Simple English. Slovenina. Slovenina. /Srpski. Srpskrvatski / Suomi. Svenska. Tagalog. Turks. Tingvit. Winare. Zazaki. Edit links. Article. Talk. English. Read. Edit. View history. Tools. Tools. Move to sidebar hide. Actions. Read. Edit. View history. General. What links here? Related changes. Upload file. Special pages. Permanent link. Page information. Cite this page. Get shortened URL. Download QR code. Expand all. Edit interlanguage links. Print/export. Download as PDF. Printable version. In other projects. Wikimedia Commons. Wikiquote. Wikidata item. Appearance. Move to sidebar hide. Text. Small. Standard. Large. This page always uses small font size. Width. Standard. Wide. The content is as wide as possible for your browser window. Color. Beta. Automatic. Light. Dark. This page is always in light mode. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Ancient Egyptian god of the afterlife. For other uses, see Osiris, disambiguation. Osiris Reader Rex here. For the 2001 film, see Osiris, film. As a reader Rex here. Not to be confused with Acer. Osiris. Osiris, Lord of the Dead and of Rebirth. His green skin symbolizes rebirth. Name in hieroglyphs. Major cult center. Biziris, Abydos. Symbol. Crook and flail, Atef crown, ostrich feathers, fish, mummy gauze, djed. Genealogy. Parents. Geb and Nut. Ipai 1. Siblings. Isis, Set, Nephthys, Heruer. Consort. Isis. Offspring. Horus, Anubis, in some accounts. Osiris, /Osars/ from Egyptian WSJR, A was the god of fertility, agriculture, the afterlife, the dead, resurrection, life, and vegetation in ancient Egyptian religion. He was classically depicted as a green-skinned deity with a pharaoh's beard, partially mummy-wrapped at the legs, wearing a distinctive Atef crown, and holding a symbolic crook and flail. 5. He was one of the first to be associated with the mummy wrap. When his brother Set cut him up into pieces after killing him, with her sister Nephthys, Osiris' wife, Isis, searched all over Egypt to find each part of Osiris. She collected all but one Osiris's manhood. She then wrapped his body up, enabling him to return to life. Osiris was widely worshipped until the decline of ancient Egyptian religion during the rise of Christianity in the Roman Empire. 6-7. Osiris was at times considered the eldest son of the earth god Geb-8 and the sky goddess Nut, as well as being brother and husband of Isis, and brother of Set, Nephthys, and Horus the elder, with Horus the younger being considered his posthumously begotten son. 8-9. Through syncretism with Ea, he was also a god of the moon. 10. Osiris was the judge and lord of the dead and the underworld, the lord of silence. 11. And Kenta Mentiu, meaning foremost of the Westerners. 12. In the Old Kingdom, 2686-2181 BC, the pharaoh was considered a son of the sun god Ra who, after his death, ascended to join Ra in the sky. After the spread of the Osiris cult, however, the kings of Egypt were associated with Osiris in death. As Osiris rose from the dead, they would unite with him and inherit eternal life through imitative magic. 13-14. Through the hope of new life after death, Osiris began to be associated with the cycles in nature, in particular the sprouting of vegetation and the annual flooding of the Nile River, as well as the heliacal rising of Orion and Sirius at the start of the new year. 15. He became the sovereign that granted all life, he who is permanently benign and youthful. 15. The first evidence of the worship of Osiris is from the middle of the 5th dynasty of Egypt, 25th century BC, although it is likely that he was worshipped much earlier. 16. The Kenta Mentiu epithet dates to at least the 1st dynasty, and was also used as a pharaonic title. Most information available on the Osiris myth is derived from allusions in the pyramid texts at the end of the 5th dynasty, later New Kingdom source documents such as the Shabaka stone and the contendings of Horus and Seth, and much later, in the narratives of Greek authors including Plutarch 17 and Diodorus Siculus. 18. Some Egyptologists believe the Osiris mythos may have originated in a former living ruler, possibly a shepherd who lived in pre-dynastic times, 5530–100 BC, in the Nile Delta, whose beneficial rule led to him being revered as a god. The accoutrements of the shepherd, the crook, and the flail, once insignia of the Delta god Enjeti, with whom Osiris was associated, support this theory. 13. Etymology of the name. Edit. Head of the god Osiris, c. 595–525 BC. Brooklyn Museum. Osiris is a Latin transliteration of the ancient Greek sigma iota rho iota ipa, o.c.ris, which in turn is the Greek adaptation of the original name in the Egyptian language. In Egyptian hieroglyphs the name appears as WSJR, which some Egyptologists instead choose to transliterate as SJR or JSJRJ. Citation needed. Since hieroglyphic writing lacks vowels, Egyptologists have vocalized the name in various ways, such as Asar, Azar, Asur, Wazir, Uzur, or Uzire. Citation needed. Several proposals have been made for the etymology and meaning of the original name. As Egyptologist Mark J. Smith notes, none are fully convincing. 19 Most take WSJR as the accepted transliteration, following Adolf Ehrman. John Gwynne Griffiths, 1980, bearing in mind Ehrman's emphasis on the fact that the name must begin with insic W, proposes a derivation from WSR with an original meaning of the Mighty One. 20. Kurt Sethe, 1930, proposes a compound STJRT, meaning seat of the eye, in a hypothetical earlier form WSTJRT, this is rejected by Griffiths on phonetic grounds. 20. David Lordan, 1985, takes up this same compound but explains STJRT as signifying product, something made, Osiris representing the product of the ritual mummification process. 19. Wolfhart Westendorf, 1987, proposes an etymology from WSTJRT she who bears the eye. 21-22. Mark J. Smith, 2017, makes no definitive proposals but asserts that the second element must be a form of JRJ, to do, make, rather than JRT, I. 19. However, recently alternative transliterations have been proposed. Yoshi Muchiki, 1990, re-examines Ehrman's evidence that the thrown hieroglyph in the word is to be read WS and finds it unconvincing, suggesting instead that the name should be read SJR on the basis of Aramaic, Phoenician, and Old South Arabian transcriptions, readings of the throne sign in other words, and comparison with St. Isis. 23. James P. Allen, 2000, reads the word as JSJRT 24 but revises the reading, 2013, to JSJRJ and derives it from JSJRJ, meaning engendering, male, principal. 25. Appearance. Edit. Scenes from the north wall of the burial chamber of Tutankhamun. On the left side, Tutankhamun, followed by his Ka, an aspect of his soul, embraces Osiris. 26. Osiris is represented in his most developed form of iconography wearing the Atef crown, which is similar to the white crown of Upper Egypt, but with the addition of 2 curling ostrich feathers at each side. He also carries the crook and flail. The crook is thought to represent Osiris as a shepherd god. The symbolism of the flail is more uncertain, with shepherd's whip, fly whisk, or association with the god Anjeti of the 9th nome of Lower Egypt proposed. 15. He was commonly depicted as a pharaoh with a complexion of either green, the color of rebirth, or black, alluding to the fertility of the Nile floodplain, in mummy form, wearing the trappings of mummification from chest downward. 27. Early mythology. Edit. This section needs additional citations for verification. Please help improve this article by adding citations to reliable sources in this section. Unsourced material may be challenged and removed. January 2024, learn how and when to remove this message. The pyramid texts describe early conceptions of an afterlife in terms of eternal traveling with the sun god amongst the stars. Amongst these mortuary texts, at the beginning of the 4th dynasty, is found an offering the king gives an Anubis. By the end of the 5th dynasty, the formula in all tombs becomes an offering the king gives an Osiris. 28. Father of Horus. Edit. The gods Osiris, Anubis, and Horus. Wall painting in the tomb of Horemheb, KV 57. The syncretized god Seker Osiris. His iconography combines that of Osiris, Atef crown, crook and flail, and Seker, hawk head, was scepter. Osiris is the mythological father of the god Horus, whose conception is described in the Osiris myth, a central myth in ancient Egyptian belief. The myth describes Osiris as having been killed by his brother Set, who wanted Osiris' throne. His wife, Isis, finds the body of Osiris and hides it in the reeds where it is found and dismembered by Set. Isis retrieves and joins the fragmented pieces of Osiris, then briefly revives him by use of magic. This spell gives her time to become pregnant by Osiris. Isis later gives birth to Horus. Since Horus was born after Osiris' resurrection, Horus became thought of as a representation of new beginnings and the vanquisher of the usurper Set. Seker, who resulted from the identification of the creator god with Seker, thus gradually became identified with Osiris, the two becoming Seker Osiris. As the sun was thought to spend the night in the underworld, and was subsequently reborn every morning, Seker Osiris was identified as king of the underworld, god of the afterlife, life, death, and regeneration. Osiris also has the aspect and form of Seker Osiris. Ram god. Edit. Vainbcht. B3NBD. In hieroglyphs. Osiris' soul, or rather his Ba, was occasionally worshipped in its own right, almost as if it were a distinct god, especially in the delta city of Mendes. This aspect of Osiris was referred to as Bainbjadet, which is grammatically feminine, also spelt Bainbjad or Bainbjt, literally the Ba of the Lord of the Djed, which roughly means the soul of the Lord of the Pillar. The Djed, a type of pillar, was usually understood as the backbone of Osiris. The Nile supplying water, and Osiris, strongly connected to the vegetable regeneration, who died only to be resurrected, represented continuity and stability. As Bainbjt, Osiris was given epithets such as Lord of the Sky and Life of the Sun God, Ra. Ba does not mean soul in the Western sense, and has to do with power, reputation, force of character, especially in the case of a god. Since the Ba was associated with power, and also happened to be a word for ram in Egyptian, Bainbjt was depicted as a ram, or as ram-headed. A living, sacred ram was kept at Mendes and worshipped as the incarnation of the god, and upon death, the rams were mummified and buried in a ram-specific necropolis. Bainbjt was consequently said to be Horus' father, as Bainbjt was an aspect of Osiris. Regarding the association of Osiris with the ram, the god's traditional crook and flail are the instruments of the shepherd, which has suggested to some scholars also an origin for Osiris in herding tribes of the Upper Nile. Mythology. Edit. Further information, Osiris myth. The family of Osiris. Osiris on a lapis lazuli pillar in the middle, flanked by Horus on the left and Isis on the right, 22nd dynasty, Louvre, Paris. Plutarch recounts one version of the Osiris myth in which Set, Osiris' brother, along with the Queen of Ethiopia, conspired with 72 accomplices to plot the assassination of Osiris. 29 Set fooled Osiris into getting into a box, which Set then shut, sealed with lead, and threw into the Nile. Osiris' wife, Isis, searched for his remains until she finally found him embedded in a tamarisk tree trunk, which was holding up the roof of a palace in Byblos on the Phoenician coast. She managed to remove the coffin and retrieve her husband's body. In one version of the myth, Isis used a spell to briefly revive Osiris so he could impregnate her. After embalming and burying Osiris, Isis conceived and gave birth to their son, Horus. Thereafter Osiris lived on as the god of the underworld. Because of his death and resurrection, Osiris was associated with the flooding and retreating of the Nile and thus with the yearly growth and death of crops along the Nile Valley. Diodorus Siculus gives another version of the myth in which Osiris was described as an ancient king who taught the Egyptians the arts of civilization, including agriculture, then traveled the world with his sister Isis, the satyrs, and the 9 muses, before finally returning to Egypt. Osiris was then murdered by his evil brother Typhon, who was identified with Set. Typhon divided the body into 26 pieces, which he distributed amongst his fellow conspirators in order to implicate them in the murder. Isis and Hercules, Horus, avenged the death of Osiris and slew Typhon. Isis recovered all the parts of Osiris' body, except the phallus, and secretly buried them. She made replicas of them and distributed them to several locations, which then became centers of Osiris worship. 3031. Worship. Edit. Names of Osiris span 6 pages in Budge's 1920 hieroglyphic dictionary. A personified eye of Horus offers incense to the enthroned god Osiris in a painting from the tomb of Pashidu, 13th century BC 32. Annual ceremonies were performed in honor of Osiris 33 in various places across Egypt. 34 evidences of which were discovered during underwater archaeological excavations of Frank Gaudio and his team in the sunken city of Thonis Heracleion. 35 These ceremonies were fertility rites which symbolized the resurrection of Osiris. 36 Recent scholars emphasize the androgynous character of Osiris' fertility clear from surviving material. For instance, Osiris' fertility has to come both from being castrated/cut into pieces and the reassembly by female Isis, whose embrace of her reassembled Osiris produces the perfect king, Horus. 37 Further, as attested by tomb inscriptions, both women and men could syncretize, identify, with Osiris at their death, another set of evidence that underlines Osiris' androgynous nature. 38. Death or transition and institution as god of the afterlife. Edit. Osiris Nepra, with wheat growing from his body. From a bas-relief at Philly. 39 The sprouting wheat implied resurrection. 40. Plutarch and others have noted that the sacrifices to Osiris were gloomy, solemn, and mournful. Isis and Osiris, 69, and that the Great Mystery Festival, celebrated in 2 phases, began at Abydos commemorating the death of the god, on the same day that grain was planted in the ground, Isis and Osiris, 13. The annual festival involved the construction of Osiris beds formed in shape of Osiris, filled with soil and sown with seed. 41 The germinating seed symbolized Osiris rising from the dead. An almost pristine example was found in the tomb of Tutankhamun. 42 The Imyat emblem, an image of a stuffed, headless skin of an animal tied to a pole mounting a pot, was a symbol associated both with Osiris as god of the underworld and with Anubis, god of mummification, was sometimes included among a deceased person's funerary equipment. 13. The first phase of the festival was a public drama depicting the murder and dismemberment of Osiris, the search for his body by Isis, his triumphal return as the resurrected god, and the battle in which Horus defeated Set. According to Julius Firmicus Maternus of the 4th century, this play was reenacted each year by worshippers who beat their breasts and gashed their shoulders. When they pretend that the mutilated remains of the god have been found and rejoined, they turn from mourning to rejoicing. De Aurore Profanarum Religionum. The passion of Osiris was reflected in his name Wennenefer, the one who continues to be perfect, which also alludes to his post-mortem power. 27. Ikerno Stela. Edit. Part of a series on Ancient Egyptian Religion. Show. Beliefs. Afterlife. Cosmology. Duet. Ma'at. Mythology. Index. Numerology. Philosophy. Soul. Show. Practices. Funerals. Offerings, offering formula. Temples. Pyramids. Show. Deities, list. Ogdoad. Amun. Amunit. Howhet. Het. Coquette. Kek. Naunet. Nu. Ennead. Adam. Geb. Isis. Nephthys. Nut. Osiris. Set. Shu. Tefnut. Aati. Acre. Okti. Amenhotep, son of Hapu. Amsmi. Amit. Amhat. Amuaa. Anat. Anjeti. Anhur. Anput. Anubis. Anuket. Apdimok. Apeb. Apis. Apt. Aken. Arensnuppies. Ash. Assessors. Astart. Aten. B. Bobby. Bainjadet. Bastet. Bat. Bata. Bapef, Bennu, Bes, Butchies. C. Cavern deities. D. Dudun, Duao, God. F. Four sons of Horus. G. Gate deities. H. Ha. Happy. Orion. Hathor. Hatamhit. Hittite. Hetihotep. Hika. Heman. Hemsit. Henit. Heket. Hermanubis. Hesat. Horus. Harpocrates. Harishaph. Hu. Iabet. Ea. Iat. Igai. Ihi. Ikemusk. Imentet. Imhotep. Ipai. Iunit. Ihusaset. K. Kibichet. Kenzit. Kentiamantiu. Kentikiti. Kepri. Kurdi. Knum. Kansu. Kother wa cases. M. Mahis. Maat. Mandulis. Medjt. Mafdet. Mehen. Mehetwarit. Mehit. Menhit. Merit. Meretsager. Meskanet. Min. Naviz. Montu. Mut. N. Nebthetepet. Nechawai. Nefertum. Neekau. Name Tai. Neath. Nemti. Nekbit. Neeper. P. Pk. Parrot. Petby. Te. Q. Kabi. Qed her. Kh. R. Ra. Reed Tai. Regeet. Ram. Renanutet. Renpit. Renpit Nefrit. Ripit. Rashab. S. Sa. Satis. Sebiameker. Sekamet. Seker. Serapis. Circuit. Shed. Shy. Shed. Shesmitet. Shesmu. Sia. Sobug. Sopday. Sopdu. Souls of Pe and Nekan. T. Taitanen. Taurat. Tate. Tabitje. Thoth. Hermes Trismegistus. Tijananiat. Tudu. U. Unut. W. Wajet. Wajwer. Weneg. Webset. Webvaet. Warathiko. Worit. Show. Locations. Eru. Benben. Duit. Land of Manu. The Indestructibles. Show. Symbols and objects. Aani. Abtu. Ankh. Ataf. Atat. Book of Thoth. Cartouche. Corn mummy. Crook and flail. Dishrat. Djed. Egyptian obelisk. Egyptian pool. Eye of Horus. Eye of Ra. Griffin. Hejet. Hemum crown. Henu. Hierarchosphinx. Hypocephalus. Imiat fetish. Capriche. Nef. Maytet boat. Medjt. Manat. Nebu. Neems. Neshmit. Ouroboros. Chint. Scarab. Sectet boat. Sarag. Serpapard. Set animal. Shenring. Sphinx. Tyet. Urias. Ashabdi. Was scepter. Winged sun. Show. Texts. Funerary texts. Amdu 8 books of breathing, book of caverns, book of the dead, book of the earth, book of gates. Show. Related religions. Adanism. Hermeticism. Thelema. Chemeticism, Kemetic Orthodoxy Church of the Most High Goddess. Ancient Egypt Portal. V. T. E. Much of the extant information about the rites of Osiris can be found on the Ikernofret stela at Abydos erected in the 12th dynasty by Ikernofret, possibly a priest of Osiris or other official. The titles of Ikernofret are described in his stela from Abydos, during the reign of Senwored III, Pharaoh Sesostris, about 1875 BC. The ritual reenactment of Osiris's funeral rites were held in the last month of the inundation, the annual Nile flood, coinciding with spring, and held at Abydos, which was the traditional place where the body of Osiris drifted ashore after having been drowned in the Nile. 43. The part of the myth recounting the chopping up of the body into 14 pieces by Set is not recounted in this particular stela. Although it is attested to be a part of the rituals by a version of the papyrus Jamil-Hak, in which it took Isis 12 days to reassemble the pieces, coinciding with the festival of plowing. 44. Some elements of the ceremony were held in the temple, while others involved public participation in a form of theatre. The stela of Ikernofret recounts the program of events of the public elements over the 5 days of the festival. The first day, the procession of Wepvaat, a mock battle was enacted during which the enemies of Osiris are defeated. A procession was led by the god Wepvaat, opener of the way. The second day, the great procession of Osiris, the body of Osiris was taken from his temple to his tomb. The boat he was transported in, the Neshmit bark, had to be defended against his enemies. The third day, Osiris is mourned and the enemies of the land are destroyed. The fourth day, night vigil, prayers and recitations are made and funeral rites performed. The fifth day, Osiris is reborn. Osiris is reborn at dawn and crowned with the crown of Ma'at. The statue of Osiris is brought back to the temple. 43. A rare sample of Egyptian terracotta sculpture which may depict Isis mourning Osiris. The sculpture portrays a woman raising her right arm over her head, a typical gesture of mourning. Musée du Louvre, Paris. Wheat and clay rituals. Edit. Contrasting with the public theatrical ceremonies sourced from the Middle Kingdom Ikernofret stele, more esoteric ceremonies were performed inside the temples by priests. Plutarch mentions that, for much later period, 2 days after the beginning of the festival, the priests bring forth a sacred chest containing a small golden coffer, into which they pour some potable water, and a great shout arises from the company for joy that Osiris is found, or resurrected. Then they knead some fertile soil with the water, and fashion therefrom a crescent-shaped figure, which they cloth and adorn, this indicating that they regard these gods as the substance of earth and water. Isis and Osiris, 39. Yet his accounts were still obscure, for he also wrote, I pass over the cutting of the wood, opting not to describe it, since he considered it as a most sacred ritual, Ibid 21. In the Osirian temple at Dendera, an inscription, translated by Budge, chapter 15, Osiris and the Egyptian Resurrection, describes in detail the making of wheat paste models of each dismembered piece of Osiris to be sent out to the town where each piece is discovered by Isis. At the temple of Mendes, figures of Osiris were made from wheat and paste placed in a trough on the day of the murder, then water was added for several days, until finally the mixture was kneaded into a mold of Osiris and taken to the temple to be buried. The sacred grain for these cakes were grown only in the temple fields. Molds were made from the wood of a red tree in the forms of the 16 dismembered parts of Osiris. The cakes of divine bread were made from each mold, placed in a silver chest and set near the head of the god with the inward parts of Osiris as described in the Book of the Dead, 17. Judgment. Edit. Judgment scene from the Book of the Dead. In the 3 scenes from the Book of the Dead, version from 1375 BC, the dead man, Hunfer, is taken into the judgment hall by the jackal-headed Anubis. The next scene is the weighing of his heart against the feather of Ma'at, with Emmet waiting the result, and Thoth recording. Next, the triumphant Hunfer, having passed the test, is presented by the falcon-headed Horus to Osiris, seated in his shrine with Isis and Nephthys. British Museum. The idea of divine justice being exercised after death for wrongdoing during life is first encountered during the Old Kingdom in a 6th dynasty tomb containing fragments of what would be described later as the negative confessions performed in front of the 42 assessors of Ma'at. 45. At death a person faced judgment by a tribunal of 42 divine judges. If they led a life in conformance with the precepts of the goddess Ma'at, who represented truth and right living, the person was welcomed into the kingdom of Osiris. If found guilty, the person was thrown to the soul-eating demon Ammit and did not share in eternal life. 46. The person who is taken by the devourer is subject first to terrifying punishment and then annihilated. These depictions of punishment may have influenced medieval perceptions of the inferno in hell via early Christian and Coptic texts. 47. Purification for those who are considered justified may be found in the descriptions of Flame Island, where they experience the triumph over evil and rebirth. For the damned, complete destruction into a state of non-being awaits, but there is no suggestion of eternal torture. 48-49. During the reign of Seti I, Osiris was also invoked in royal decrees to pursue the living when wrongdoing was observed but kept secret and not reported. 50. Greco-Roman era. Edit. Hellenization. Edit. Bust of Serapis. The early Ptolemaic kings promoted a new god, Serapis, who combined traits of Osiris with those of various Greek gods and was portrayed in a Hellenistic form. Serapis was often treated as the consort of Isis and became the patron deity of the Ptolemies' capital, Alexandria. 51. Serapis's origins are not known. Some ancient authors claim the cult of Serapis was established at Alexandria by Alexander the Great himself, but most who discuss the subject of Serapis's origins give a story similar to that by Plutarch. Writing about 400 years after the fact, Plutarch claimed that Ptolemy I established the cult after dreaming of a colossal statue at Sinope in Anatolia. His counselors identified the statue as the Greek god Pluto and said that the Egyptian name for Pluto was Serapis. This name may have been a Hellenization of Osiris Apis. 52. Osiris Apis was a patron deity of the Memphite necropolis and the father of the Apis bull who was worshipped there, and texts from Ptolemaic times treat Serapis as the Greek translation of Osiris Apis. But little of the early evidence for Serapis's cult comes from Memphis, and much of it comes from the Mediterranean world with no reference to an Egyptian origin for Serapis, so Mark Smith expresses doubt that Serapis originated as a Greek form of Osiris Apis's name and leaves open the possibility that Serapis originated outside Egypt. 53. Destruction of cult. Edit. The Phili Temple on Agilkia Island as seen from the Nile. The cult of Isis and Osiris continued at Phili until at least the 450s CE, long after the imperial decrees of the late 4th century that ordered the closing of temples to pagan gods. Phili was the last major ancient Egyptian temple to be closed. 54. See also. Edit. Eru. Ancient Egyptian concept of the soul. Tika-her. Kenti-amantiu. Mysteries of Osiris. Traditional African religion portal. Notes. Edit. Coptic, Duzire, Coptic pronunciation, Usury, Phoenician, 2 Romanized, SR, 3-4. References. Edit. Hart, George, April 21, 2006. A Dictionary of Egyptian Gods and Goddesses. Routledge. p. 100. ISBN 978-1-134-93012-8. Chi 31, 47, Sipi of Melkart, 48, Bonobal Steel, 91, Res 367, 504. Coptic Dictionary Online. corpling.uis.georgetown.edu. Retrieved March 17, 2017. Allen, James P. 2010. Middle Egyptian, An Introduction to the Language and Culture of Hieroglyphs. Cambridge University Press. ISBN 9781139486354. Egyptian Mythology, Osiris Cult. tourigypt.net, in Russian. Retrieved October 26, 2018. Catholic Encyclopedia, Theodosius I. NewAdvent.org July 1, 1912. Retrieved May 1, 2012. History of the later Roman Empire from the death of Theodosius I to the death of Justinian, the suppression of paganism ch. 22, p. 371, John Bagnall Berry, Courier Dover Publications, 1958, ISBN 0-486-20399-9. Jump Up To, A. B. Wilkinson, Richard H. 2003. The Complete Gods and Goddesses of Ancient Egypt. London, Thames and Hudson. p. 105. ISBN 978-0-500-05120-7. Kane Chronicles. Quirk, S., Spencer, A.J. 1992. The British Museum Book of Ancient Egypt. London, The British Museum Press. The Burden of Egypt, J. A. Wilson, p. 302, University of Chicago Press, 4th Imp 1963. Collier, Mark, Manley, Bill, 1998. How to Read Egyptian Hieroglyphs, British Museum Press, p. 41, ISBN 0-7141-1910-5. Jump Up To, A.B.C. Studwick, Helen, 2006. The Encyclopedia of Ancient Egypt. New York, Sterling Publishing Co., Inc. pages 118-119. ISBN 978-1-4351-4654-9. Man, Myth, and Magic, Osiris, Vol. 5, pages 2087-2088, SGF. Brandon, BPC Publishing, 1971. Jump Up To, ABC The Oxford Guide, Essential Guide to Egyptian Mythology, edited by Donald B. Redford, pages 302-307, Berkeley, 2003, ISBN 0-425-19096-X. Griffiths, John Gwynne, 1980. The Origins of Osiris and His Cult. Brill. p. 44. Isis and Osiris, Plutarch, translated by Frank Cole Babbitt, 1936, Vol. 5 Loeb Classical Library. Penelope.uchicago.edu. The Historical Library of Diodorus Siculus, Vol. 1, translated by G. Booth, 1814. Jump Up To, A.B.C. Smith, Mark, 2017. Following Osiris, Perspectives on the Osirian Afterlife from 4 Millennia. Pages 124-125. Jump Up To, A. B. Griffiths, John Gwynne, 2018, 1980. The Origins of Osiris and His Cult. Pages 89-95. Matthew 2010, p. 79 Harvin Bearer, No Target, CITEREF Matthew 2010, Help, Mais qui est dans Osiris? Ou la politique sous l'insulte de la religion. Westendorf, Wolfhart, 1987. Zur Etymologie des Namens Osiris, *ws.tjr.t die das Ogtragt. Form und Mass, Beitrag zur Literatur, Sprach und Kunst des alten Ägypten, Festschrift für Gerhard Fecht zum 65. Geburtstag am 6. February 1987, in German 456-461. Muchiki, Yoshi, 1990. On the Transliteration of the Name Osiris. The Journal of Egyptian Archaeology. 76, 191-194. doi 10.1177/0307513390076000127. S2CID 1940373767. Allen, James P. April 15, 2010. Middle Egyptian, An Introduction to the Language and Culture of Hieroglyphs. Cambridge University Press. ISBN 9781139486354. Allen, James P. 2013. The Name of Osiris, and Isis. Lingua Egiptia. 21, 914. Reeves 1990, pages 72-73. SFN error, no target, CITEREF Reeves 1990, help. Jump up to, A.B. How to Read Egyptian Hieroglyphs, Mark Collier and Bill Manley, British Museum Press, p. 42, 1998, ISBN 0-7141-1910-5. Architecture of the Afterlife, Understanding Egypt's Pyramid Tombs, Anne Macy Roth, Archaeology Odyssey, Spring 1998. Plutarch, 1874. Plutarch's Moralia on Isis and Osiris, ch. 12. Retrieved 2012-05-01, or Babbitt translation. Osiris, Man, Myth and Magic, S.G.F. Brandon, VOL 5P2088, BPC Publishing. The Historical Library of Diodorus Siculus, translated by George Booth 1814. Retrieved June 3, 2007. Google Books. Wilkinson 1992, pages 42-43. SFN error, no target, CITEREF Wilkinson 1992, help. Frank Gaudio and David Fabre, Osiris, Egypt's Sunken Mysteries, Flammarion 2017, ISBN 978-2-0813-7873-5. Rakili Shalomihen, The Writing of Gods, The Evolution of Divine Classifiers in the Old Kingdom, Wiesbaden, Harasowitz, 2006, 69-95. The Mysteries of Osiris at the British Museum, https://britishmuseum.tumblr.com/post/15161776342/. The Mysteries of Osiris/ Early 20th Century Scholar E.A. Wallace Budge, over, emphasizes Osiris action. Osiris is closely connected with the germination of wheat. The grain which is put into the ground is the dead Osiris, and the grain which has germinated is the Osiris who has once again renewed his life. E.A. Wallace Budge, Osiris and the Egyptian Resurrection, Volume 2, London, P. L. Warner, New York, G. P. Putnam Sons, 1911, 32. Anne M. Roth, Father Earth, Mother Sky, Ancient Egyptian Beliefs about Conception and Fertility, in Reading the Body, Representations and Remains in the Archaeological Record, ed. Allison E. Rotman, Philadelphia, University of Pennsylvania Press, 2000, 187-201. Roth, 199. Egyptian Ideas of the Future Life, E. A. Wallace Budge, Chapter 1, E. A. Wallace Budge, Org. Pub 1900. Routledge Dictionary of Egyptian Gods and Goddesses, George Hart, p. 119, Routledge, 2005. ISBN 0-415-34495-6. Teeter, Emily, 2011. Religion and Ritual in Ancient Egypt. Cambridge University Press. Pages 58-66. Osiris Bed, Burton Photograph P2024, The Griffith Institute. Jump up to, A.B. The Passion Plays of Osiris. AncientWorlds.net. Archived from the original on June 26, 2007. J. Vandier, L. E. Papyrus Jamil Haq, pages 136-137, Paris, 1961. Studies in Comparative Religion, General Editor, E. C. Messenger, Essay by A. Malin S. J., Vol. 2/5, p. 23, Catholic Truth Society, 1934. Religion and Magic in Ancient Egypt, Rosalie David, pages 158-159, Penguin, 2002, ISBN 0-14-026252-0. The Essential Guide to Egyptian Mythology, The Oxford Guide, Hell, pages 161-162, Jacobus van Dijk, Berkeley Reference, 2003, ISBN 0-425-19096-X. The Divine Verdict, John Gwynne Griffiths, p. 233, Brill Publications, 1991, ISBN 90-04-09231-5. Letter, Hell in the Ancient World. Letter by Professor J. Gwynne Griffiths. The Independent. December 31, 1993. Archived from the original on September 1, 2012. Retrieved December 4, 2017. The Burden of Egypt, J. A. Wilson, p. 243, University of Chicago Press, 4th Imp 1963. The inscriptions of Redisaya from the reign of Seti I include as for anyone who shall avert the face from the command of Osiris, Osiris shall pursue him, Isis shall pursue his wife, Horus shall pursue his children, among all the princes of the necropolis, and they shall execute their judgment with him. Breasted Ancient Egyptian Records, Vol. 3, p. 86. Wilkinson, 2003, pages 127-128. François Dunand and Christian Zivikosh, 2004, Gods and Men in Egypt, 3000 BCE to 395 CE, pages 214-215. Smith, 2017, pages 393-94. Dijkstra, Jitsa H.F. 2008. Folly and the End of Egyptian Religion, pages 337-348. External links. Edit. Wikisource has the text of the new student's reference work article Osiris. Wikimedia Commons has media related to Osiris. Osiris Ancient Egypt on a Comparative Method. Show. V. T. E. Ancient Egyptian Religion. Beliefs. Afterlife. Creation Myths. Isfit. Mot. Makru. Mythology. Numerology. Osiris myth. Philosophy. Soul. Practices. Canopic jars. Embalming ritual. Funerals. Mortuary temples. Offering formula. Opening of the mouth. Pyramids. Temples. Veneration of the dead. Deities. Ogdoad. Amun. Amunit. Howhet. Het. Coquette. Kek. Naunet. Nu. Ennead. Adam. Geb. Isis. Nephthys. Nut. Osiris. Set. Shu. Tefnut. Triads. Theban triad. Aati. Acre. Okti. Amenhotep. Son of Hapu. Amsmi. Amit. Amhat. Amuaa. Anat. Anjeti. Anhur. Anput. Anubis. Anuket. Apdemoc. Apeb. Apis. Apt. Aken. Irensnuppies. Ash. Assessors. Astart. Aten. B. Bobby. Bainjadet. Bastet. Bat. Bata. Bapef. Bennu. Ves. Butchies. C. Cavern deities. D. Didun. Dionysus Osiris. F. Four sons of Horus. G. Gate deities. H. Ha. Happy. Hathor. Hatmhit. Oran. Hittite. Hetihotep. Hika. Heman. Hemsit. Henit. Heket. Hermanubis. Harishaph. Hesat. Horus. Harpocrates. Hu. Iabet. Ea. Iat. Igai. Ihi. Ikemusk. Imentet. Imhodub. Ipi. Iunit. Ihusaaset. K. Kibichet. Kenzit. Kenti amantiu. Kenti kiti. Kepri. Kurdi. Knum. Kansu. Kother wa cases. M. Mahis. Maat. Mafdet. Mandulis. Medst. Mehen. Mehetwarit. Mehit. Menhit. Merit. Meritsager. Meskanet. Min. Naviz. Montu. Mut. N. Nebthetepet. Nechawai. Nefertum. Neekau. Name Tai. Neath. Nekbit. Nemti. Neeper. P. Pk. Parrot. Petby. Te. Q. Kabi. Qed her. Kh. R. Ra. Reed Tai. Regeet. Ram. Renanutet. Renpit. Renpit Nefrit. Ripit. Rashab. S. Sa. Satis. Sebiameker. Seker. Sekamet. Serapis. Circuit. Shed. Shy. Shed. Shesmitet. Shesmu. Sia. Sobug. Sopday. Sopdu. Souls of Pe and Nekan. T. Taitanen. Taurat. Tate. Tabitje. Thoth. Hermes Trismegistus. Tijaneniat. Tudu. U. Unut. W. Wajet. Wajwer. Weneg. Webset. Wepvaet. Warathico. Worit. Creatures. Aeni. Abdu. Griffin. Hierarchosphinx. Medst. Serpapard. Sha. Sphinx. Urias. Characters. Dedi. Jajamank. Redajet. Ubaner. Locations. Eru. Ake. Benben. Duet. Land of Manu. The Indestructibles. Symbols. And objects. Ankh. Ataf. Cartouche. Corn mummy. Crook and flail. Crown of justification. Dishrat. Djed. Egyptian obelisk. Egyptian pool. Eye of Horus. Eye of Ra. Hejet. Hemam crown. Henu. Horus on the crocodiles. Hypocephalus. Imiat fetish. Capriche. Neph. Manat. Nebu. Nemes. Neshmit. Ouroboros. Chint. Scarab. Sarug. Shenring. Solar bark. Tyet. Shabdi. Vulture crown. Was scepter. Winged sun. Writings. Amduate. Books of breathing. Book of caverns. Book of the dead. Book of the earth. Book of gates. Book of the heavenly cow. Book of traversing eternity. Coffin texts. The contendings of Horus and Seth. Enigmatic book of the netherworld. Great hymn to the Aten. Litany of the Eye of Horus. Litany of Re. Pyramid texts. Spell of the 12 caves. Festivals. Beautiful festival of the valley. Cattle count. Coronation of the Pharaoh. Min festival. Opet festival. Said festival. Related religions. Atenism. Gnosticism. Hermeticism. Kemetism. Mysteries of Isis. Temple of Set. Thelema. Ancient Egypt Portal. Show. Authority Control Databases. International. VIAF. FAST. WorldCat. National. Germany. United States. Czech Republic. Poland. Israel. Catalonia. People. DDB. Other. IDREF. Retrieved from https://n.wikipedia.org/w/index.php, title equals Osiris and olded equals 12570761333. Categories. Osiris. Agricultural gods. Egyptian death gods. Middle Eastern gods. Egyptian underworld. Fertility gods. Health gods. Hellenistic Egyptian deities. Life-death rebirth gods. Lunar gods. Nature gods. Primordial teachers. Underworld gods. Mythological kings. Killed deities. Chthonic beings. Hidden categories. Pages using the WikiHiero extension. Articles containing Coptic language text. Pages with Coptic IPA. CS1 Russian language sources, RU. Harv and SFN no target errors. CS1 German language sources, DE. Articles with short description. Short description is different from Wikidata. Articles having same image on Wikidata and Wikipedia. Articles containing ancient Greek, to 1453, language text. Pages with Greek IPA. All articles with unsourced statements. Articles with unsourced statements from August 2024. Articles with unsourced statements from October 2024. Articles needing additional references from January 2024. All articles needing additional references. Commons category link from Wikidata. This page was last edited on November 13, 2024, at 3:13 UTC. Text is available under the Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike 4.0 license, additional terms may apply. By using this site, you agree to the terms of use and privacy policy. Wikipedia registered trademark is a registered trademark of the Wikimedia Foundation, Inc., a non-profit organization. Privacy policy. About Wikipedia. Disclaimers. Contact Wikipedia. Code of conduct. Developers. Statistics. Cookie statement. Mobile view. Edit preview settings.